As the old saying goes, a man's home is his castle. And when you look around Southwest Florida, it's easy to imagine. While it's still at the heart of the American dream, aspects of home life are always changing. In this edition of Behind the Headlines, we explore Home Sweet Home. First, what are you looking for in a dream home? Naples is known for luxury living. We check off the must-have amenities that make up Southwest Florida style.
It's of course a lovely master bedroom with perhaps his and her bathrooms, not just his and her sinks, but actually separate bathrooms.
Then the kitchen remains a central gathering spot, but fewer people may be using it. In Now We're Cooking, we look at a trend that's altering mealtime. Plus, tied right in with the home is the garage with a car or two tucked inside. In Crank It Up, we'll pop the hood and let you get a look at some racy engines. I'm Amy Osher. Those stories plus the commentary from Alan Bartlett are coming your way. I'm Amy Osher. Thanks for joining us. By some accounts, we become a nation of nesters. Whether it's building towards a dream home or flipping from house to house, everyone is looking for key features that make life comfortable. For some people, a Naples-style home might be aspirational, but here goes a look at Southwest Florida style. Would you consider this kind of typical of our Naples-style home?
I would today. In today's environment, people want a more open, more user-friendly home.
The Mediterranean influence, which used to dominate the landscape, is yesterday's news. Today's luxury home buyers are looking for a clean sweep.
The word is coastal living, clean, clean, clean lines.
Clean lines and open spaces with plenty of room to spread out, even if it means knocking down walls.
We can't throw away all the Mediterranean homes that we currently have, but I think people are saying, okay, it's time for a change. Let's get rid of the heavy columns and the heavy gilding and whatever else they've done to Mediterraneanize the house. They want to de-Mediterraneanize.
The end result, stylish homes on a grand scale. It's the new Naples. Now let's look around. Now this one is kind of neat because a lot of people are working from home now. What do we have here?
Well, this is considered his office, but she also has her own office.
Only one of the defining features found in these custom homes. There are many more must-haves.
They want a large kitchen, whether you cook or you don't. They would love a wine cellar if possible. They would love to have an outdoor living space. Of course, a lovely master bedroom with perhaps his and her bathrooms, not just his and her sinks, but actually separate bathrooms.
It's a changing market with fewer flippers and more buyers hoping to settle down, according to business reporter June Fletcher.
Most people are buying for both investment and to live.
And living large is hot in Naples. Throw in a great room for gathering and a spacious kitchen.
This is a wonderful kitchen because not only does she have the main refrigerator, but she has two other small refrigerators behind here.
Not to mention 2 dishwashers.
You got that, and then you've got a smaller one right here.
Nice. Master suites provide a welcome retreat with supersized bathrooms and closets to die for. These coastal comforts coming at a cost. Not surprising, it's greatly influenced by location.
It takes about $8 million to buy a house that's considered acceptable in Port Royal. For example, for teardowns, most houses that are $8 million or below are torn down in Port Royal because they're actually not as worthwhile. They were built in the 1970s and are not worth keeping.
This home is a relative bargain, a few miles away and a few $1 million less. If you're buying, there's plenty of Southwest Florida style for sale.
In the very high end, in what I call the nosebleed part of the market, the inventory levels are up quite a lot.
Spacious gourmet kitchens are at the heart of a luxury home with Eden Islands, custom cabinets, and oversized appliances. But in some instances, they're window dressing, as many of us are too busy to use them. So what do you do when you want a home-cooked meal? Well, you could hand off to someone else.
As you can see by looking around, we are a commercial kitchen. Commercial refrigeration is at a premium for us, so we use a lot of refrigeration because when we plate meals, we're typically doing between 600 and 800 meals per week.
If you thought your kitchen is bustling at mealtime, check this out. Chad O'Connor makes meals by the hundred. Everything from scratch, start to finish.
Chicken, how much chicken do you use?
So if I'm going to order chicken in any given week, we're going to typically order about 300 to 400 pounds.
His business, Fresh Fit Foods, aims to deliver healthy, prepared meals, catering to people on the go. Made assembly line style, each one includes a protein and vegetables, no dairy or gluten.
When we're cooking, I usually have 3 guys on our line, and then when we're plating, I usually have 2 of us in back, and we're plating all the meals in the back.
With each meal under 500 calories, he's become a master of scale in measurements and management. How is it different cooking for so many people as opposed to yourself for a small family?
Challenge. It's actually, to be honest with you, I find it to be a little bit easier to cook for a large amount of people than to cook for like 2 or 3 people.
Chad's business is part of a growing segment, innovative meals packaged, fully cooked, and ready to consume.
As you can see, we've got Asian-inspired dishes with a Thai coconut noodle bowl. We've got a blackened salmon over a snap pea and sweet potato succotash. I think this is where food is going. People want to eat healthy, but not only do they want it to be healthy, they want it to be delicious, and I don't blame them. And they want it to be cost effective. And I think that we hit all of those markers, and I definitely believe that the trends in food are kind of going this direction.
Kevin Bolock gets meals delivered twice a week, filling a void when the family doesn't cook.
It works out really good. We just come home, zap it, because we're not cooks, and it's nice, healthy food, and we like that.
No shopping, no cleanup. A bonus for the time challenge, who want a home-cooked meal without the hassle. It's also a tasty option for young professionals, people cooking for one, and the elderly. A guarantee of fresh food at their doorstep.
You don't have to go out and go anywhere, take a shower and, go out somewhere. It's great at home during the week. Then you're on your own on the weekend.
Satisfying the appetite for eating in, the home delivery market is a hot trend for mealtime.
But we've grown year over year the past 3 years, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
Food and drink naturally go together, along with pairings of wine at mealtime. In our Help Yourself series, we're launching a beginner's guide to enjoying wine. We open up with uncorking. Every good glass of wine starts right here with opening the bottle, and our expert Julie Glenn is going to show us how we should be doing it. That doesn't mean that we are doing it this way, so you're going to give us some correct tips.
Yeah, it's really intimidating to open bottles of wine or champagne. Every time I'm at a friend's house, they're like, you open it, because I don't want to do it. So I wanted to show you quickly how to, and I recently learned this. I always thought you were just supposed to let it fly and pop.
Yeah,
but
that's
you're
part
not.
of the fun, I thought.
It's not supposed to make the popping sound. A sommelier told me, a master sommelier told me, it's supposed to make like a little kiss sound whenever you open a bottle of champagne.
Okay, it sounds romantic.
I don't think I've really had that experience ever before, because I always end up popping them.
But it's a very formulatic way to do it. I heard you talking about turning 6 times and doing things, so it's not really just going with your gut. There's a way to do it.
And you got to be safe too, because you can take out your lamp if you don't do it right, or somebody's eye.
Yeah, not
and
a good evening.
Like I was telling you, there are legends of people people have told me, credible people who have said, oh, people have been killed by champagne corks that are flying, because the pressure in a champagne bottle is pretty amazing. This right here is not champagne. This is cava, but it's made in the same way.
Now that you scared us.
I know. So when you take off your foil, take that off, and always keep your thumb over the top. So that keeps it safe. And then you have this little guy. See this little twisty thing?
Okay.
So you take that, and you really have to twist it just 6 times. 4, 5, 6, and it'll be open. That'll open it up. So you loosen it up like that.
That's part of it in the way they made it. They wrap it 6 times.
They just always wrap 6 times, and it doesn't really. I've never had a cage. This is called a cage. That was not 6.
Okay.
So keep it like that, and you can keep the cage on or take it off, and you hold it, and you're supposed to really slowly. I popped.
That was a loud kiss.
That was a pop.
That was a smacker, but either way,
warm.
It didn't go flying across the room.
Keep your hand on it always. That's the case. I'm not good. I'm not that experienced with that. But anyway, look at the
nothing came out of it either,
coming
because
out.
this is the champagne, correct?
This is cava. Yeah.
Okay.
This is it's made in the same way as champagne. It's method champenoise. It's got a secondary fermentation that takes place in the bottle, which means it's pressure.
So and it has some bubbly. I see something like coming up out of it, but it's not.
It's a beautiful wine. It's really
overflowing.
Pretty.
Beautiful bottle too.
And it's pink.
I was gonna say, so the wine is pink as well.
Yeah, isn't it great? So it's a rosé. They have a white too, but Ana de Codorniu. I'm not good at pronouncing it. But anyway, so yeah, that's what it looks like.
Very nice.
Pretty easy. So you just always got to keep your thumb or something. So a lot of people put a towel over it just in case it goes flying, because you don't want anybody to get
Touch
hurt.
that. But you don't have these problems with wine, though. It shouldn't pop
No,
out.
these should not be popping out. If you have a regular still bottle of wine that the cork pops out, you've got a problem on your hands. If something has happened to that somewhere along the line. So you use your foil cutter. This is my favorite kind of wine opener, by the way. It's called a waiter's corkscrew. It's the easiest. They have all kinds of gadgets on the market. I can't figure out
We
how
had
to
one
work
in our
it.
house with this vise on it and the
Yeah.
grips and all sorts of things.
I just always am like, I'm going to destroy something. Just give me this. And these are inexpensive. Everybody gives them away. This is from some distributor, I think, that's
Nice.
since defunct. But this is your foil cutter.
Okay.
And you can either go up here or down here, either on the top or on the bottom. Just depends on your preference. I like down here because I don't want my wine to come into contact with any of the foil.
Just
Ever.
go all the way around. You're not supposed to just cut it and peel it?
Cut it, go all the way around once, and then you start pulling it like that.
Okay.
And you can use your fingers or whatever. So there's nice clean cut. Usually I shred it, so don't feel bad if you do. And some people just take the whole thing off. They just go here and they go and
Yeah,
take
see,
the whole
that's
foil
what, that's
off.
what I would do.
But yeah, I've done that. There's nothing wrong with that. So you take, this is called a worm, put it right in the middle as much as you can, and then just twist it down. And the reason I like this particular kind of waiter corkscrew, because it has two hinges. See here?
Oh, so you can also use it to help you get it out.
Yeah, so that's what you need it to, some of them just have one way down here.
Yeah.
So, but once you get the worm all the way in, you need to have a shorter guy. So use that one, and then step 2.
Okay, so you kind of crank it out,
Yeah.
and that's all there is to
That's
it,
all
huh?
there is to it. And then you look at your cork, and you don't smell your cork because all you're going to smell is cork. It doesn't really smell like anything but cork and maybe a little bit of wine. But the reason that they give you this in a restaurant to inspect is to make sure that the wine has not seeped out
Breached
to
up,
here.
uh-huh.
Because if the wine's gotten up to here, that means that there's a possibility that air has gotten in, and air is the enemy of wine. So.
Okay, very nice. Well, that'll wrap up this one, but maybe next time we can talk about how if you need to recork it. So that's another addition.
I brought this for my champagne.
Very
And
nice.
usually I just jam these back in.
I was wondering, I think we all do that. Well, thanks for joining us, Julie Glenn. Still to come, we're peeking under the hood of classic cars. Stay with us.
For a better lifestyle, shop Bears.
Bears has been in business for 70 years. We're really proud of that. Whatever look you want for your home, whether it's Pan-Asian, contemporary, tropical, coastal, cottage, Bears will have it for you. Bears promises to give you the best value for your money. We'll have what you want and we'll make you happy. That's the Bear family promise.
I'm Jeffrey Heitman, NCH. This is my hospital.
I'm Shona Vella McCunney, and this is my hospital.
I'm Thomas Parent, and this is my hospital.
My name is Kenneth Bookman, NCH. This is my hospital.
NCH, this is my hospital.
Looking for a new home on one of those big national websites? Why not trust a site that already knows the neighborhood, like the real estate site sponsored by the newspaper that's landed on more local doorsteps than practically anyone? Try naplesnews.com/homes. You'll get up-to-the-minute real estate listings from people who know the neighborhood. Go to naplesnews.com/homes. There's a good chance we've already landed on your new doorstep.
Right about this time, we pop into the newsroom to see what our beat reporters are working on for you at the Naples Daily News.
Hi, I'm Alex Glorioso, the political reporter here at the Naples Daily News. So, big news this week. Senator Marco Rubio is seeking re-election, and that changes the whole U.S. Senate race here in Florida. Several other candidates have dropped out. Businessman Carlos Baruf is now his biggest competitor. And Baruf is coincidentally advertising here in Naples and Fort Myers already. He has a big campaign, a lot of money going into it. What we'll be looking at here at the Naples Daily News is who is supporting Marco Rubio in his bid for re-election, what kinds of donors are coming out of this area, and what that means for us with the up-ticket races and the rest of the down-ballot races that will be affecting candidates in the area. So stay tuned.
He's fueled many a household discussion. Here's Alan Bartlett in our weekly commentary.
If you're hungering for opinions, the editorial board at the Naples Daily News sure has them. Here's a recap of some of those we've served up in recent days. Sugar was on our plate, specifically spending part of an afternoon with representatives of U.S. Sugar who say they've been unfairly criticized as the cause of pollution going down the Caloosahatchee River and St. Lucie Canal from Lake Okeechobee discharges. They suggested to us it isn't a good idea to buy more land south of the lake to store water before it's sent off to the Everglades in Florida Bay. We think they made some good points about the need for more attention to water storage and stormwater projects in areas south of Orlando but north of the lake. Even so, we agree with the approach of Congressman Kurt Clausen, who has proposed the Everglades Land Acquisition Act that would identify another piece of property south of the lake for future storage of water so it can be cleaned up before it's sent into the Everglades. While federal and state money is needed to complete projects already designed, land isn't going to get any cheaper, and it may not even be available if the government waits much longer. Clausen is also urging Congress to speed up reinforcing the dike around the lake. The region and state would be wise to get fully behind Clausen and let him lead the efforts to address this critical issue. We also weighed in on the good news about the state's latest scientific count of the black bear population, which has increased more than 50% in the past decade. We think more work needs to be done before Florida holds another bear hunt, and the focus still should be on how we can better manage ways to keep bears from wandering into neighborhoods to look for food. On another animal-related front, we're pleased Florida is going to develop rules requiring the reporting of injuries to racing greyhounds. It was sad that Florida was one of 2 states that hadn't required this before. We still think the legislature has more to do, however, in addressing gaming issues in the state. That's a sampler platter of our editorials. To read about what we're thinking and to join in the conversation, go to naplesnews.com.
Coming up, they're critically endangered and as cute as can be. A set of lemur twins recently moved into their new custom-built home. You can play a role in their welcome. That's ahead in Behind the Headlines.
Looking for a new home on one of those big national websites? Why not trust a site that already knows the neighborhood, like the real estate site sponsored by the newspaper that's landed on more local doorsteps than practically anyone? Try naplesnews.com/homes. You'll get up-to-the-minute real estate listings from people who know the neighborhood. Go to naplesnews.com/homes. There's a good chance we've already landed on your new doorstep.
Still think real estate's a gamble? Not at Vineyards. When you look at the homes, amenities, the community itself, and the fact that Vineyards is debt-free, you can't lose. And here's our ace up the sleeve. A full golf lifetime membership, free with every new home purchase. We've stacked the deck in your favor at Vineyards. Come see our 15 new models open daily.
Get it on the couch, you can get it on the floor, you can get it at a bar or even at the store. You can get it on the porch, you can get it on the lawn, you can get it at the table or even on the john. In the rain, at the game, in the park, in the dark, you can even get it on the bus. You can get it in a meeting, get it while you're eating, or even in the back of a pickup truck.
With the Naples Daily News, you can get the news anywhere. Subscribe online today.
Thousands of people in Southwest Florida make the Naples Daily News their daily destination. And when they do, we say, you are here. That's why we've renamed our classified section to NDN Localfieds. In here, you'll find lots of other people buying, selling, and doing business locally. Naples Daily News Localfieds looks better than ever, and inside you'll find all kinds of things. Things you're looking for, or surprised by the thing you thought you'd never find. There is no better place than here. Naples Daily News Localfieds.
This one is for the gearheads among us. Southwest Florida is home to a world-class collection of classic cars. The Rev Institute is tucked away in Naples. A hidden gem few people know about. It tracks the history of autos. For a limited time, the museum is lifting the hoods so car lovers can appreciate the old-time engines.
Hello, my name is Lodge McKee. I'm a volunteer docent at the Revs Institute in Naples, and I'm going to talk a bit about an upcoming exhibit that we're having for the first time here. It's an engine exhibit from several of the race cars in the collection, 47 of them actually. Normally we display the cars with the hoods down or the bonnets over the engines, and for most people the shape and the color of a race car has more to do with the character of it than the engine. But in reality, the engine is the heart, the core of a racing vehicle. And we have the ability in this collection to talk about the development of the internal combustion engine from some very early primitive types built right around 1900 up through the middle of the 20th century with some very, very sophisticated racing engines like the ones that are in use today. To see more of the engines, go to the Revs Institute website and make a reservation to come out. We're open Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and glad to have you come and see as many of the cars as we have open and examine them up closely. We'll have a number of docents and station guides here to help you and give you the facts and figures on the engines and interpret them for you.
It was cause for celebration this week on Sanibel. Fact is, when isn't it? But this was a special occasion. The island getaway kicked off the first annual National Seashell Day, coinciding with the first day of summer. This video comes from our partners at the News Press. Known for world-class shelling, Lee County has 50 miles of shoreland and roughly 400 varieties of shells. Good Morning America's Ginger Z was there providing cut-ins for the network, shining a national spotlight on our home, Southwest Florida.
Our job as the Visitor and Convention Bureau is really to promote the area and identify its unique attributes. And of course, shelling is one of the most unique attributes of our area. This area, famous for its shells, but also considered one of the best places in North America to go shelling. So we're a natural for National Seashell Day.
The real attention getter was the shell-adorned convertible Volkswagen, pieced together over the last 6 weeks or so to kick off this event.
The Shelluv Bug is made over 20,000 shells with over 65 volunteers who have painstakingly put on the shells, donated shells. It's an amazing community project.
A truly moving piece of art. This was the debut of the shell-encrusted car. It will travel to promotional events highlighting the conch life on Sanibel.
So every sheller, everybody who loves shells and shelling can have a day to celebrate, to celebrate.
A pair of baby brothers are settling into their new home. A twin set of red ruffed lemurs are the newest residents of the Naples Zoo. Known for their red sideburns, the lemurs are considered critically endangered. You may have seen them depicted in the Madagascar series of movies, but the animal's plight is far from storybook. The lemurs are losing land as well as being trapped for the pet trade, which is why the Naples Zoo is thrilled to be a part of a breeding effort to sustain the population. These little guys were born May 1st. They don't have names yet. That's where you come in. The zoo invited the public to submit names to their Facebook page. It wraps up Monday, June 27th. Then they'll pick 3 names and put it up for a community vote. Shelby Reynolds reported this story. You can find more details in her article at naplesnews.com. Whether you watch from the comfort of your living room or at your computer, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Behind the Headlines. You can rewatch or share this show by going to naplesnews.com. I'm Amy Osher. We'll see you back here next week.